Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that was a good demonstration of my question as well.
We think so too.
Yes. So my life is going really, really well, by and large, really well.
Yeah.
And one of the places where I tend to have a little challenge is I know myself to be really highly sensitive. And so when some negative something shows up in my experience, I'm very quick to move away from it very quickly. And so the downside of that has me living, I think, in a state of avoidance, and it has me not staying the course a lot. So I'm
really
in this,
even
yeah.
avoiding clear impulses. It's sort of like you're in your sensitivity and beating the drum of that. You've activated enough resistance that you are then oblivious to, or not in the receptive mode sometimes, of indications that are coming all around you of a clear path. So you don't see it. And why don't you see it? Because you're seeing something else. And what is it that you're seeing? I'm sensitive. Can you kind of get what we're talking
Yes.
about? Everybody in the vicinity over there was standing up.
Yes.
So all that means is, it's all right. All that means is there was something, another thought within you that was dominant enough that thought was controlling your ability to receive. You see how it works? So talk to us more. We'll help you sort this out.
So what more would you like me to say? How do I be more open to that? So I'm, I guess, maintaining my focus on.
Well, talk to us about something. Let's talk about some situation, something that you want, something that is tangible, some manifestation that you seek, something that you are not able to find a clear
Okay.
Inspiration to move along your path.
Okay, I'm business-wise, I'm very entrepreneurial. There's several projects that I do, several things that I do. Yes.
We want to hear this, but before you go further, we want to put one more thing in, and that
Please.
is your statement about how sensitive you are.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people train themselves to a sensitivity of what they don't want. It's training yourself to a sensitivity of what you do want that helps you to, and as an entrepreneur, as someone in business, you really want to be perched there ready to receive an impulse. And what's happening to you, you receive an impulse, you receive them all the time, we know that you do, but then you discount them with other facts. You know too much about the status quo, you know too much about what is, and you keep it too active in your vibration.
I know too much, that's for sure.
And you keep it
Yeah.
too active in your vibration. So even though the source within you knows who you are, knows what you want, knows exactly what the unfolding, the logical, wonderful, you see, start again. The reason that Esther found the word logical unfolding is because source could lead you right to what you want, but can't get you around your own obstacles. We couldn't get you in the chair. And we appreciate that so much because you represent everyone in the room to some degree. You all have those blind spots. You have those prejudices. You have those beliefs about things that just keep you from receiving the thought or impulse to move in the direction of what you really want. And then you conclude that there are other factors that are in your way. Like it's the economy, or it's this law, or it's this rule about something, or it's the way those people do business, or it's about when it's never about anything except your own receptive mode or not, you see. So now, that was good, and you heard it all.
Yes.
So pick up where you left off about you're an entrepreneur and you're good at it.
So there's several things that I do that I love, that I'm very passionate about, and I'll be full steam in one direction, working on a project, evolving something, doing something that I love, and in one particular instance, there's a president of a company that I'm my biggest client that is really, really challenging, and so
All right, so your attention to him,
her.
your attention to whatever it is, your attention to that activates a vibration within you that sort of shuts you down relative to all other things.
Sure. I do my best to ignore her. I really do. I avoid her like the plague.
But you see, but this is, you avoided us like the plague too.
No.
Yeah. So here's what we want you to understand about that. In your awareness of this person, and in your, so let's say that this person is a vibration, and you've translated the vibration of this person into thoughts and emotions. So the thought that you've translated this person into from your creation is someone who's hard to deal with, and the emotion that you feel is one of dread, one of resistance, one of not wanting to interact. So that's the vibration that you've got going on. But the thing about law of attraction is there's no such accurate word as avoidance. There's no avoiding anything, especially if it's the plague. When something has that much momentum, you're not avoiding it. You're using it as the reason that you're paralyzed. It's you put it right smack dab in the middle of your path. So now we want to give you a sort of aerial view of what's going on. Source says, oh, there he is, and there's what he wants. Shine a light on the path, shine a light on the path, shine a light on the path. Shine more light on the path, shine more light on the path, shine more light on the path. The plague is a big shadow on the path. He can't see past the plague. He can't see past the plague. Light it up more. We did. The whole earth's on fire. He can't see past the plague. Well, and Source can't put the plague out. In other words, because you're the one that put the plague on the path. So you're the only one that can look around it. Well, you can't look around it once you're really engaged in it any more than these two lovely children could stop bickering with each other. That momentum was just, it had a life of its own, and it was just going to carry itself out. You got to start at an earlier place. And so when you say, I have a lot of things going on, that's a less resistant place.
Yes.
When you say, and one of them, then you said, my biggest client, dun, dun, dun. My biggest client, and therefore the client I think the most about. My biggest client, therefore, so I have this path of least resistance with all kinds of opportunities, things that you haven't even received yet, all lined up for you. Amazing things lined up for you. Yeah. But because
I can feel that.
Because and that's why you light it up for us, even though you weren't really in the mood to come.
I didn't bring my glasses. I couldn't see who you were pointing at, so. Yes. Sorry.
Esther saw a television commercial the other day. She's seen it a few times, and she really, really liked it for this reason. They used words differently than she had heard them before. You may have seen the commercial. It's about a house that smells, and the word was nose blind. nose blind. And Esther thought that was so funny to use the word blind with nose. And we think it's funny that you're using the word blind with energy. In other words, we don't want you to see your path. We want you to feel your path. And we know, we get what you're talking about here, but it's the reason this whole thing is so wonderful is because everyone has these blind spots. And the reason that you have a blind spot to what you want is because you've practiced thoughts that are in the way. So even though source is lighting up your trail in a really powerful way, you can't sense it. You can't sense it because you've got another vibration that's active that's in the way of it. And that's why we say you got to start at an earlier place. So let's go to a more general place. Okay. Let's not talk about the plague person or even the biggest client. Let's talk about entrepreneurship in general. Okay. What is it that you like about it? Freedom, open-endedness, never-endedness, opportunity.
Yep. Unlimited opportunity,
exhilaration, passion,
challenge, fun.
Well, challenge is interesting because that's overcoming plagues. In other words, the challenge really, a challenge isn't really your path of least resistance. Oh, except that sometimes people take challenges because the challenge launches the rocket. But once the rocket has been launched, don't hang around in the challenge anymore, because then it just turns into resistance. Oh, that's worth thinking about, isn't it? Knowing what you don't want helps you know what you do want. But if you keep complaining about what you don't want, now you've launched the rocket, and all your attention to what you don't want is making you nose blind to what you really want. Yes? So let's talk in general terms. Entrepreneurship is freedom. It's unlimitedness. It's possibilities. It's freedom. It's clarity. Feels really good when you think about it like that. So now let's follow that path of least resistance further, if we can. It's business. It's business people. Now, when you think of business and business people, that could still be clear. It's still a path of least resistance because you're co-creating with others, and the economy is what makes the world go round, and there's enough diversity in the world that's why everything is working well the way it is. And so still clear path, and then you think of clients. Well, when you think of clients, it could still be a clear path if you're thinking of the clients where you've had great success, the clients that were easy to work with, the clients where it feels open-ended, the clients that you look forward to meeting, and then there's that client that doesn't feel so good. So stay off that subject. But let's say you can't really stay off that subject. Abraham, I can't stay off that subject. This is my biggest client. You're telling me to ignore my biggest client, and we're saying, we're asking you to be more precise about the path that you choose within that. So here's this client. Let's say that that's what you're now focusing upon with a sincere interest to focus on with the path of least resistance in mind. Biggest client, that feels like a non-resistant feeling, doesn't it? Lots of revenue, that feels like a non-resistant feeling. Bubonic plague, hard to work with. Resistant. So you just want to use different words around it when you do come to it. And if you can't, get off of it. Focus on other things. The way you figure out, you see what happens to so many of you. Children. Esther watches her friend. She has a friend who's playing with her and traveling with her and staying with her, and they're having such a good time together. And her friend has absolutely no responsibility. And she's so playful. And